Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as you will remember last year when I first bought the CFZ time machine, I introduced you to a special guest who was Charles Hoyt Fort. Now this year I thought it would be quite interesting to use the CFZ time machine to go back to various pivotal moments in cryptozoology. And what was the date?
1933.
Well, I knew it was 1930 something. 1933, one of the most important things ever to happen at Loch Ness happened, and it happened to a man called Mr. George Spicer. And I went back to the CFZ time machine, and I found Mr. George Spicer. But Mr. Spicer, would you like to come in here, please? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. George Spicer.
My name, as you've just been told, is George Spicer. I run a firm of London tailors. In July of 1933, my wife and I were on a motoring holiday in the Highlands of Scotland. On the 22nd of that month, we were driving along the south shore of Loch Ness towards the town of Foyles. We had just passed Whitefield and were approaching a rise in the road. Just then, something emerged from the bracken beside the road about 200 yards from the car. I recall that it put me in mind of an elephant's trunk, although it was somewhat thicker and long, but it was not a trunk, but a long, grey, waving neck with a small head on the end. The head and neck were followed by a bulky body. It lurched across the road in a series of jerking movements like a large caterpillar. I estimated the head and neck to be some 12 feet long, and the body to have been 25 feet long and 4 feet high. Because of the rise in the road, we saw no limbs on the creature. I cannot recall seeing a tail. There was something flapping just behind the neck. Now, this may have been a fin or possibly the tip of the creature's tail coiled around its body. This would mean the animal was far larger than I had at first thought. By the time we reached the part of the road where the animal had crossed, it had vanished into the loch. It was a terrible, dark elephant grey in colour and had the loathsome texture of a snail. The creature was an abomination. I don't mind telling you that the monster frightened me and my wife dreadfully. When we reported the sighting, I remember that we were both shaking violently. I believe the loch should be depth charged and the monstrosity destroyed. Oh, I can't abide elephants. Horrible, wrinkly things, snouty. Ugh, hate them. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. George Spicer.